Thank you, madam. We'll actually start the YouTube. All right. Thank you, masters. Thank you very much for taking time to join today. Can you all see me okay? Okay. Thank you all. It's been a couple of weeks since we have met. We have had a little bit of a break because we are we were doing a couple of the busy weeks where we were working on MMS and some of the activities post that. So we missed maybe 2 or 3 Fridays in between. So welcome all for today's topic session. We'll continue to leverage this platform to share knowledge and to align with the energies that we need to be able to sustain our daily lives. Not just the material aspect of it, the spiritual aspect of it. So today, as we are getting to understand what truth is all about, what is that I need to look for, what is that I need to aspire for, what is the goal of my life, what is the purpose of my life. Each of us have, so 1 second, master. Each of us have our own profound experience in terms of how we are realizing the truth, the very truth that scriptures talk about, the very truth that we are experiencing on our own, the very truth we have heard from the masters, the great masters, grand masters, like Patriji and Ramana Maharshi, and then anyone that you follow. Where do I draw the line? Where do I look myself into the reality? Where do I take this into my life, right? When does this culmination happen for me? Right? A lot of these questions each of us have in our own journeys. And every one of us wants an answer in our own ways. Some we try to find it outside. Some we find to try it inside. And for some, they don't know why they are here. I don't care why I'm here. I'm just here to enjoy. The very enjoyment that they are thinking about doing outside is what they understand, and that's how they want to live. Ignorance. So now for the ones who are living in the ignorance aspect of it, so we don't have much to talk about. For the ones who actually are looking the happiness and other aspects of it outside, knowing that there is something outside, there is little bit of a hope where you can bring them inside. And the ones that where the difference comes in is the people who are trying to look within and trying to understand what happiness, what peace means, what is life, why am I here? And these sessions are meant for that. These sessions will make your inner journeys more profound, more deeper, and give you more knowledge and the wisdom that you will need to be able to get to the next state from where you are. So as part of those is where these discussions are coming from. There are a lot of statements that the scriptures talk about. You are the Brahman, right? You are the one. There is no one outside. Everything what you're seeing is one. We are all part of the divine oneness. But when I try to see that, when I try to feel that, when I try to hear about that, I don't see that at all. And the second thing is we are all the truth. What truth talks about is we are all the spiritual beings out to have human experience. We hear from great masters and scriptures talk about it, saying that you are not the body, you're not the mind, you're not the intelligence, but you are the one that's running all of it. But yet I don't have that experience. How do I take this? These fundamental questions, whenever someone gets it, that's when they are ready for the inner journey. It's a start of the inner journey. It's a beginning of the journey. We should never confuse ourselves that the beginning of the journey is the end of the journey. The beginning of the journey starts with questions asking about your own reality, who you are, where you are coming from, why you are here, what is your purpose, where are you going from here, why are you living this kind of life, what brought you into this body, what kind of illnesses you're carrying. All this is related to you as an individual or a person. But when we start to look back and then you start the journey saying that, okay, let me find out who I am. And that's when the journey begins. And the journey goes forever and ever and ever and ever. This journey is so profound and so deep that no matter to what extent, to what level, to what number of years you put into this penance, the so-called penance, you still find that the knowledge, the experiences, the kind of understanding that you have, wisdom that you have gained is so little. There is so much insight that is out there, right? It is for those truth seekers like us who wants to go deep, who wants to get very good exposure and understanding as to what truth is all about and how do I live the truth. Knowing the truth is one aspect of it. Living the truth is a whole different dimension. It's a whole different dimension. Let us not confuse ourselves by starting to limit ourselves that I know the truth. You know the truth is only 0.1% of the story. 99.9 is when you live in that truth. It is not easy to live in the truth. It's just not. Because truth is not material. It is inside the material life, but you don't fight in the material life. So obviously what happens when you start to live by the code of truth, the world will look at you differently. The world will react differently. The relationships, the kind of culture that you have built, the environment that you have built, the family, whatever the monetary aspects of it, your living standards, everything will actually come out. Right? In some senses, what happens is all the pleasures that we call, you have to be out of it. It is not like you are trying to forcefully come out of it. You are kind of done with it. That is what this truth is all about. And that is what we are talking today. Today's subject is all about in the truth, the very starting point is where you start to believe very firmly within that you are a spiritual being out to have human experience. All the scriptures, all the great masters are telling us that you are that what you are looking for. There is nothing else for you to look. Look within. You become what you are looking for. You get what you need. But yet we always find answers outside. Why is that? It is because I am on the false identity. On the pretext of false identity, mistaken identity, I always associate myself as a body. What is wrong in it? There is nothing wrong in it. You're just not in the truth. What do I need to do is I need to accept, live by the code of truth with the fact that I am a spiritual being out to have human experience. The very thought that you instill in your mind, you will see the change of energy within you. There is a tremendous shift that comes when you start to believe in yourself that you are a spiritual being out to have human experience. Try that when you get an opportunity, right? When you are alone, when you are sitting quiet, just have that feeling within you that I am a spiritual being out to have human experience. Suddenly, all the so-called problems, the issues, the concerns, whatever this mind is carrying within, everything is gone in that very moment. Always we have to remember that we are not living for next year. We are not living for next 10 years. We are living for not next 30 years. You are living for this very moment. That is all what you need to embrace, because you don't have any control on the next moment. When you are a spiritual being, you enjoy every moment as it blossoms in front of you, as it comes in front of you. Good, bad, ugly, all these are mind variations. The permutations and combinations is life. You don't bother much about it. Whatever is happening in that moment, you cherish that moment, you enjoy that, you pass on to the next moment, you forget. Forgive and forget. Why is this very, very important that we have to instill this fundamental thought within our system? Is because you are shifting the energies. What we are doing is we are shifting the energies. I am no longer looking from bottom up. I don't want to grow out from body to mind. Within the mind, I want to go into my intelligence. From intelligence, I want to get into my soul. From soul, I want to get into self. There is a whole journey of ladder that you need to take by having that. Instead, you can also come bottom, top down. The top down approach is I am self. I am everywhere. I am a spiritual being out to have human experience. All spirits are same. All spirits are equal. There is no difference. Whether the structure may be different, the look and feel may be different, but the fact, the truth is only one. We are all coming from the same source. If I have that firm belief within me and I start my meditation and I start my inner journey, you will start to see in a very fastest way you are growing out of your so-called obstacles that come in your practices. Some talk about meditation, I sit for meditation for 2 hours, 3 hours. I always move. I cannot get into the deeper state. Some talk about I'm sitting for 5, 6 hours, but yet I don't have the profoundness. Some talk about I've been doing for meditation for so long, but yet I'm not moving anywhere. Why are these things coming up? Because we are trying to take up the ladder. The ladder is from your body, from your mind, from your intelligence. You're trying to grow. There are two things that we need to start to embrace in our life if we are really truth seekers, spiritual aspirants, the so-called spiritual aspirants. And one is intelligence. You have to have very good, decent wisdom or knowledge about what you are trying to get to, number one, or where you are going in your inner journey, number one. Number two, you need to be getting away from your worldly pleasures. Very, very important. If these two are not in your system, spiritual journey is impossible. It is not. It is not for you. You may think it might come someday. It won't. Viveka, Vairagya. Very, very important. You have to try to get away from the worldly attractions. The attractions are so heavy in our lives, in everyone's life, right? Whoever is living the material life, especially in a country like this, it is very difficult to get out of those attractions. But if you are able to get out of that, then you are mature. You are there. And the only thing that is remaining for you is going up. So your sadhana, whatever you are trying to get to, whatever you are trying to become, you will succeed. You will succeed. There is no doubt about it. And the second thing, the most important thing is the knowledge. Your knowledge is the most important aspect in your journey. Never ignore your knowledge. It is only because of that knowledge you will get enlightened. The enlightenment does not come just by doing meditation, my dear friends. We all have to, as a truth seekers, as a spiritual aspirants, we all have to understand this very clearly. We have to write it down on our boards, wherever you are sitting, right? Write it down there. Make it very clear for you. You need the knowledge about the truth, about what you want to become. Where do you want to go? What are you looking for within? You need to know about that. And then you do the practical by meditation, through meditation. So when I'm talking about you are a spiritual being out to have human experience, and with that instilled thought, right? I am sitting in my meditation. What is going to happen? The so-called body, the so-called mind, the so-called senses, all that, whatever I'm carrying to get into my deeper state, all that is vanished, right? You are subtly sitting, you're accumulating the energies, you're creating the structure within your system that you will start to feel that, I am the spirit out to have human body. And then you start to see your own body as a foreign body. And that's when you will have like very good astral travels. You will have, you'll be able to see your own body. You'll be able to see interdimensional, intergalactical. All those experiences come with that spirited energies. It is the energy of your soul or self that is enacting within you, that is giving you this ability to do whatever you are doing, whether it is material or spiritual. We have to understand this. And this is truth. What I'm talking is not just talking. What I'm saying is all truth. Whether we know it or we don't know it, it doesn't really matter. Truth prevails. You cannot ever say that truth does not exist. Truth exists irrespective of the fact whether you believe it or not. Truth is truth. There is only one truth, right? That you are the soul or you are the self. So today, I might say that I'm not in favor of this truth. I don't believe this truth, right? Or I don't want to be in this truth. What does that mean? Can anyone answer the question? Anyone raise and answer the question? Yeah, go ahead. Unmuted. Yeah, please.
I think the thing about truth is we want to have our perception of the truth, not the complete truth. So sometimes it's like, the universe wants to grant us something, very close to what we have asked. But, we think this is not what I have asked. Like, in the universal truth, maybe this is what is, like, I'm kind of explaining in a perspective way. I mean, like, if I ask something, I might, get stuck with that want, and that is my perception of the truth. But for different people, the truth might be different. Suppose, there is an incident or a situation, so I might just look at it in my perspective, but you might look at it in another way. So I feel that there is kind of a dichotomy in that. It can be close to truth but not the whole truth, um, but a perception of my truth, which is maybe partial truth sometimes. So I don't know if I try to answer the question.
Partially, it is right, madam. So what you are saying is the perception of truth can be in many flavors, but the actual truth is only one, right? The way I perceive it, truth based upon my journey, it may be different than the way. See, let's take an example of God, right? My perception when I do my, in the regular state of where I'm kind of laddering process, I start with my aspects of, penance, the puja aspect of it. At that stage, when you are doing your daily puja or daily ritualistic activities, what is firm in you, the belief that you have, the truth is the one that is sitting in front of me is a God. Even though it is just a idol, you don't see that as an idol, you see that as a God. And in that state, the truth is that within, right? The flavor of that. That doesn't mean that the actual truth is that. It is absolutely fine that you have that that knowledge and the understanding that when I worship this idol, I'm going to get everything what I'm looking for. Is it wrong? It is not wrong. But is it the ultimate one? No, it is not the ultimate one. In that state of where you are, that is your truth. That is the truth, the flavor of truth that you are living with. And you believe so firmly. And that's how we have been brought up in, ancient living, right? That is how we are struck. But then when you come into the deeper state, when you go into the next state, when you start to actually experience that energies of that idol within you, you now come into the next state where you say that I don't have to do things, physically to have that God experience within me. I can actually chant a mantra, right? Which can give me that impact, that energy, that it can actually expound that energy within me, where I can feel that godness, divineness within me. I don't have to, do physically. Then you come to the next state of it. Then you go into much deeper where you're saying that I don't have to do anything. In silence, I can accumulate those energies, or I can be with the divinity in silence, right? In that silence, I can accumulate that energies, and then I'm being in that divinity all the time. So at every state, your definition as to what you're believing is changing as you overgrow that. There is no right or wrong here. There is no good or bad. It is all about your understanding, your own wisdom, your own maturity, and your own sadhana, right? Or the practice that you do will help you to go deeper in your inner state. So at the start of the discussion, we talked about this aspect as to what happens to the material folks who are not looking for any of this, right? Where do they go? Truth is still applicable for them as well, right? Whether they like it or they don't like it, whether they look for it or they don't look for it, whether they live in that code of truth or not, but truth is still applicable for them. They have death, they have birth, they go through the karmic cycles as to whatever they brought in. Everything, whatever you're going through is truth. So what happens is your aspect and your version of truth will start to differ as you progress in your inner state. But then when you come to that state, which is an ultimate state, is what we are talking here, right? When you come to the highest state of the truth is only one. That we are all one. The divine oneness. That's it. There is nothing like that. Now, instead of trying to travel from downward, bottom up, what we are trying to do is we are trying to look at this from top down, where it starts from self, soul, intelligence, mind, body. How does it changes my perception? It changes dramatically. You are in the 5th floor or 10th floor of a building. You're looking down. You can see everything what is going on at same time. You can see the traffic lights. You can see the cars going. You can see the road. You can see the partitions. You can see the trees between the partitions, what they have. You can see people, pedestrians walking. You can see the zebra crossing. You can see vehicles holding there. You can see what next line is. How is the next line? Is traffic gonna? So that view is very, very important. Right now, I am living in this reality of my own perception that I am the body. And then when I am trying to do things at this state, I am getting certain things, but I am not getting certain things. I'm not getting every time what I want. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't get it. Suffering is there, miseries are there, worries are there, agony is there. I mean, everything, guilt is there, suffer. Everything, whatever you're looking for, you have the a positive aspect of it, a negative aspect of it. Because I am trying to maneuver, I'm in the traffic, I don't know what next lane is all about. I don't know whether I have to take left or right. I don't know whether traffic light is going to put a red stop for me. I don't know whether cop is watching for me. There are so many things that I'm trying to dwell in my material life, and I'm trying to navigate it with unknown factors, right? And then I'm trying to live my life as if that I'm spiritual. So what is going to happen, as it is a testimony for each of us. As we start this inner journey, you start to see the shift coming on your side. You have to start to see the shift. You should not be looking outside. It is, see, what is material, what is spiritual? The definition is very simple. Can anyone talk about it? What is material, what is spiritual? I'm going to ask a few questions today to engage. Anyone? No one? All right. Asha, madam, go ahead.
I think spiritual is an inward journey of knowing thyself and knowing your higher self, and um, it's just knowing more about who you are, and that way you can better know yourself and build a concrete relationship, um, with God. um, so that's kind of a spiritual journey. But material is the, I think it's the same thing, but it is outward, which is connected to worldly desires, or it can also be connected to spiritual, like material can be, I like to pray to God, but I also want to build a temple. So material can be that I want to build a temple, but spiritual is I want to also connect with God and see what exactly he wants. So this inner journey is spiritual for me to know more about my relationship with God. But externally, maybe I want to gift God something, so that can be, I feel, it can be synchronized with the inner journey and the outer journey. So like that's I think it is close to material, um, you know, and manifestation and the spiritual inward journey. So you can keep synchronous with um, the inward and the outward journey. I'm thinking
So,
like that.
yeah, I mean, yeah, go ahead, Sriniji.
I think, probably similar to what Ash was saying. One thing to add. Um, to realize the spirituality, you need the material life. That's the only way we can actually test it. In the sense, are we in the spiritualities or not? Without the material world, we really cannot test it. So they are connected in a way, but they are both going in the opposite direction, but they are dependent on each other.
Yes, so true, so true. So good answer, Ashaji and Sri. So I think, the way you need to start to look at it, what is material life, what is spiritual life. The fundamental difference is, in a material life, you look answers outside. For anything that is happening to you, you're looking outside. In the spiritual life, you believe that you are the answer. That is spiritual. It is always important that we have to see there is a distinction in terms of what is material life, what is spiritual life. But in truth, there are no two different lives. It is only one life. You are materially spiritual. You are spiritually materialistic. Because whatever, these are not two different lives. This is one life. You have one life that is teaching you everything, that is there for you to enjoy and have peace. But why am I seeing this as two different things? Is I'm trying to categorize myself as to what material life is and what spiritual life is. Right? At the beginning, it is okay for you to understand the differences. But as you practice it, as you become one with it, there is no difference between material and spiritual. They are same. The more spiritual you become, the happier your material life will be, the peaceful your material life will be, because you're spiritual. So what happens is, when you start to believe that you are the spirit, you are the one, the answer is you. For every problem, you are the answer. You don't look for outside. There is no misery, there is no worries, there is no guilt, there is no fear, there is no suffering. Absolutely all those material things, the negative emotions and negative commotions, whatever is hitting us in the material life, will no longer bother us. You are in the same life. You are doing the same things every day. You are living the same standards. Nothing changes on that perspective. What changes is your viewpoint towards it. That's it. That is spiritual. So if I am trying to experience this outside of my material life, then that is not spiritual. Then you are shying away from your responsibilities, from the karmic cycles, right? Whatever you're brought in as to live the life for this lifetime. So if I try to bring them together, this is where it is this knowledge that is very, very important, and a deeper understanding to experience it. For us to be able to stand to that, to say that, okay, why is this happening to me? It's a lesson coming my way. There is a alternate viewpoint, right? So what happens is, when something is happening to me in my life, I start to look at analysis, and I do the analysis paralysis. I start to look at things as to why this is happening to me. What did I do? You do all that. But then you start to also see there are circumstantial, evidences in some parts where you're saying that maybe it's because of this guy or this family or this person. I'm having these issues. I have that. I have this, the judgments, the complaints. All these things are coming because of that understanding within the material life, where you are trying to look answers outside. But if you are spiritual, you don't look for answers outside. Everyone that is contributing to bring that problem to you are actually helping you to solve that problem for yourself, so that you can go to the next state. That is the difference between you being in the body and you being in as a self or a soul using the body. There is a fundamental difference here, the way you need to look at it. Truth and what is truth, what is not, right? There are only two things. What is truth? If you know about it, everything else is not that. That's it. No matter how higher you go, how deeper you go, how left, right, whichever way you go directionally, it doesn't really matter. If you know the truth, that alone is truth. That's it. Everything else is gone. I want to know what is permanent. I want to know what is eternal. I want to know what is immortal. I want to know that which is ancient. Ajo nitya shashwatoyam purano nahanyate hanyamane. Even when my body goes away, I do not go away. I want that understanding and that experience within me, because I am that. What I am looking for, my inner aspect when I start as a beginner, is what I'm going to end up with, because what I'm believing here is what you're going to get. So if any of us are going through these motions where, I'm coming back to this journey of meditation, I'm sitting in meditation, I'm not able to get into it. Every time we talk about it, we talk about this void state. You got to be in the void state. Why you have to be in the void state? Because when you are in the void state, you have attained a state within your system where you are able to receive the information, what is needed for you to believe that you are that spiritual being out to have human experience. Today, I understand what is truth. I have heard from masters. I have heard in scriptures. I have read scriptures. All of us have read scriptures. You have listened. You have your own wisdom through your Swajjayana. You read so many books. But yet, we are not able to stand the very thought of it, that I am the truth. If I am the truth and I believe that everything else is also truth, why am I complaining? Why am I saying anything to anybody? So when this is where the inner journey is on. This is, I mean, the fact that you're shifting your energy base from the fundamental belief that everything is happening to me because of all the attractions and whatever is happening, the reflections of my life is how I am looking at it, versus everything is happening because I designed it. I want it this way. And there is a learning, right? And I wanted to really learn how this experience is going to be. Then you have totally different viewpoint on this. The way you start to look at it, you're no longer going to have those negative and lower emotions attached to anything you're doing. You have that firm belief within your system that whatever you're doing, even when you're doing seva, right, you don't have that feeling that I am the one doing the seva. I need to be doing it. I need to be respected. I need to be given a role. I need to be, able to do this. I am the one paying. I am the one doing this charity. You don't have that. There is no I concept here. As long as you have this, your spiritual seva or whatever the seva that you're doing, it is going to help you to become, to get you to the next level. That's what I mean, right? To make you more subtle and get you that next level. Why is that? When you are doing a seva, you're depleting energies. Isn't it fundamental for all of us? If I am a spiritual being, I have infinite energy within me, and that entire energy of universe is with me. If I have that firm belief, why am I getting tired after doing some seva? Or for anything, for that matter. It is because even though you want to believe it, your system is not designed to believe it. Because I always look at bottom up. I am brought, because you need the knowledge, the surrounding knowledge about that, and then your own practice. It is impossible. I mean, I'm using these words very cautiously, right? It is impossible that if you look at the impossible, there is I am possible in that, right? If you break it, what does it mean? I has to become I am. Possible. How is it possible? With the practice. You have to know the truth in all the angles. There is no second to that. You have to understand very, very clearly, no matter how many 100 people come and talk to you, no matter whatever maybe the grandmasters coming and telling you, your truth should not shatter. That is the level of understanding you should have in truth. Otherwise, everyone will pick your brain and they will instill their knowledge in your brain, saying that this is truth, you believe. No. My truth is my instincts. And the second point is, I don't know the highest truth. I am living in this truth. Is it wrong? It is not wrong. But you have to understand that I am living this level. There is much higher level. There is 2 levels above me. That is the real truth. And that truth is what gives me enlightenment, not the one that I am here. So I need to grow. I need to grow. I need to figure out how to move to the next state. It is not about comparing. It is not about looking at things. It is about you figuring out how would I get to that absolute state, the primordial one. How do I get to that primordial one that can make me come out of these miseries? That is the truth that we are talking here. That's why it is very important when we look at material life and spiritual life, Don't look at them as separate. When you start to look at them as separate, you try to deviate things. You want to be more sattvic, the gunas will start to play. During my spiritual time, I will be in perfect sattvic guna, suddha sattvic guna, and all that. But then once you come back into your material life, your rajoguna, tamoguna will take over. That is not how it is supposed to be. This whole thing is supposed to be merged together. You're growing out from tamoguna to rajoguna to sattvaguna. The majority of your day should be sattvaguna. That is spiritual. That can only happen if you invite both of them together. Every problem is a lesson, is an experience, is a learning. There are no, karma is not punishment. Karma is learning. How many of us accept? Can you raise your hands? Karma is a lesson, experience. Karma is not punishment. See, only one accepts. Two, that's it. The rest are not listening or muted. Okay, see, if you are thinking that karma is punishment, then you are living the body life, body-mind life. When you start to believe that karma is a lesson, karma is an experience, karma is a learning, then you are looking from a soul perspective. Then you are allowing those energies to come your way. You're allowing the soul energies, you are allowing the highest energies to flow through you, so that you have that greater understanding of what is happening surrounding you or within you, for that matter. The moment I start to understand and believe, right, it is that belief that makes the difference. I got to believe what I'm learning, what I'm hearing, what I'm looking, right, what I'm getting. I got to believe in that. It is only through that belief things happen, not just by knowing it. You can hear so many things, every day. It's not going to help you. You got to listen. What does that listen means? You are like focusedly, attentively trying to understand what somebody is trying to tell you. And you're trying to take that wisdom, take that knowledge, so that it can create a wisdom within you. That is the reason the scriptures say, or the gurus or the maharshis, they talk about the truth cannot be heard one time. You cannot comprehend the truth by hearing it one time. You got to repeatedly keep doing it. Then only you will be able to get some glimpses of truth within your system. It is not easy to be in that state of truth, because you cannot see that, you cannot hear that, you cannot feel that. It is invisible. It is in this entire world, in the universe, but you cannot see that. So when you start to firmly believe, when you keep listening to the truth, what happens over a period of time? The truth becomes your reality, because that is what you're thinking all the time. In that state is when you get into enlightenment. Enlightenment is not something that you're going to leave this body and you're going to get new thing or nothing like that. The person that you are, you will still be the same person. Everything will be there, except the fact that your decisions and everything will now come from your heart, from your soul. You become a soul person. That's it. Mind is no longer acting. So what happens when mind is no longer acting? You are not in this life of duality. You don't have variations. From morning you get up, you are like very calm. 2 hours down the line, you start the work, you're stressed out. 3 hours down the line, you're yelling at your employees and you're angry. And then 3 hours later, you started to feel guilty that you scold him, your employee, 2 hours back. These variations you will not have anymore. Whatever the life that you are here to do, you will continue to do the same thing. So there are two aspects to this. One is, I am believing that I am getting all this karma because of my past deeds, and I want to go through one by one, and learn the lessons. And the other things is, I refuse to believe whatever is coming my way. I am not going to be living in the cause and effect. Instead, I am going to be the one who will be causing the effect. Why can't I cause the effect? If I can create my own reality, why can't I cause the effect? If I believe today that I am a body, I am a mind and all, my thinking would be, it is natural that karma is going to come. I got to go through this. It's all misery. It's all this. It's all that. And I got to fight this. I got to find a way to get the knowledge and all that. But once you start to believe that you are the soul or you are the self, what happens? The shift comes in within you and you say that, why do I have to go through this with my body? Yeah, I designed it, but I'm going to use my free will to shift it. So it is that understanding and a very, very firm belief in that understanding that will get you that state. If I don't believe in it or I don't understand it properly, you will lose. One may say that, okay, what do you mean by lose, right? I'm not saying that you're going to fall back. I'm going to say that you may divert. You may be pulled into different directions. You have 1,000 routes to take you to the truth. Out of those 1,000 routes, there is only one route that will actually lead you to the truth. Rest 999 are false truths. But at the point where you are standing, they all look the same. They all look the same. This is very, very important that we all have to understand. Every one of us have our own way of looking at truth, our own version of truth, our own way of believing in that, right? The belief system is in that. And that is exactly why our life is so uniquely played the way it is played. It is because of my belief systems. My life is the way it is. So every one of us have flavors of life, right? If every one of us is soul, every one of is self, why am I having so many experiences, so many different lifestyles, so many unique different things that are going on in this world? It is because people have lost that knowledge and wisdom that they are soul, they are self. They have mistaken identity, that they believe firmly that they are the body and mind. Mind comes with the flavors. And obviously, you will see a unique flavor of each individual because of the combination of body and mind. So going into the higher space, you are not letting go of your body, you're not letting go of your mind. They will still be there, but they are in full support of you as a I am, you as a self, you as a soul. That is the difference. And that is why it is very important that you have the intelligence of the truth that you need to know about, number one. Number two, get out of these worldly pleasures. Don't force yourself to come out of it. See how your mind is reacting. When you are buying a car, see how your mind is feeling. Is it feeling good? Is it feeling happy? Then ask the question, who is the one that's feeling happy? What happens 3 months from now? Do I still feel I'm happy? What happens 2 years from now? Are you going to still feel the same thing in that moment? Very quickly, we will start to realize that all this, whatever is coming my way, it's coming and going, it's coming and going. So you will start to embrace the moments as they are coming to you. You'll start to accept things as they are coming to you. There is no judgment inside. There is no confusion. There is no conflict. There is no chaos anymore. It's all gone. The mind is very balanced, very centered, and very, very approachable. Your mind becomes very approachable. What does it mean? It means that you are able to make things happen. With one thought, you'll be able to realize things. With one beautiful thought. So when I start to bring them together, it is very important we understand the intelligence aspect of it, and then trying to bring that into the life, into my material life, right? How does spirituality start, right? Spirituality starts with the understanding, and that comes from your intelligence. So your intelligence will have to stop your mind all the time to say that it's not worth it. If that is told by a third person, if I am coming to you and I am telling you that you do not go to temple, you sit, you meditate, are you going to like it? No. No one will like it. You are hurting my ego now. What I firmly believe is the way of living, you are coming and hitting my sentiment. So the way to talk, the way to connect with the individuals is to show them there is a higher truth than the truth that they are believing. Then there is a flow of energy. If somebody is ritualistically very active, doing a lot of penance, and then suddenly you go and say that stop all of these, now you become meditator, everything is within, this is what scriptures are talking about, go do that, then he will show a counter scriptures where it is saying that same thing. Yes, there is a profound difference between Veda and Vedanta. Vedas talk about all you do with body, mind, and you get everything what you need by doing outside. Vedanta talks about self and soul, and you are what you're looking for. Totally different concept, totally different knowledge. You cannot mix them both. You have seekers who are at this state of Vedanta, who can actually understand that, and you are seekers who are in the early stages where they follow these ritualistic practices. But we have to find a way to bring them gradually, right, to a path where they can also be part of this peaceful and happy life. Where is the happiness? Where is the peace? It is in this Vedantic knowledge, not in this Vedic knowledge. It is in the Vedantic knowledge. That is where the peace, happiness, you coming out of suffering is there. So slowly, as you start to work with individuals, you slowly bring them into that state. You don't force. Even my own inner journey. Even my own inner journey or your own inner journey, you don't force and take somebody's word for granted and start moving things around. It won't stick for long. That change, that shift, that understanding, that belief has to come within. And it takes time. It suddenly takes time. So don't worry or don't think in a way that my life is limited. I have only 20 years to get it. I need to be able to do that. No, it is okay. Whatever is coming in your life, there is always learning. If you are able to see that, right? Patriji talks about this, right? Every moment you can learn. Every second you can learn. If you are so attentive and aware, every second, every moment that is coming in your life, there is learning. Somebody is scolding you, there is a learning. Somebody is loving you, there is a learning. Somebody is behaving erratically, there is a learning. Somebody is doing so happy for you, there is a learning. If you are able to see that, again, the way we need to bring this discussion is to, number one, do not differentiate between your spiritual and material. In this material life, you have to become spiritual. The only test for you is how you are looking at your incidents, events, whatever is happening in your life. Are you able to accept as they are coming to you? Do you believe in your own power? Because when you believe that you are God, what is not possible for you? What is not possible? Tell me one thing that you cannot do when you are God. So, as you start to believe that I am God, and you have that consciousness and the energies, what is going to happen? Things will start to shift. Something that you are suffering today with a problem will no longer be a problem. And this is the reason why we need to be spiritual. If you're thinking that my religion is going to give me that knowledge, no, your religion will never give you that knowledge. Religion will only flush your mind. To make you disciplined, religion has ritualistic activities. It does take you to the point. But after that, you got to let go the identity. I am this, I am that, I do this, I do that, I come to this, I have been called, I have not been called. If you are really spiritual, why is that somebody has to call you to do seva? Is it not your own interest that you are coming and doing seva? Why are you doing seva to begin with? To lose the identity. Isn't it? Then why is that we are expecting the people to call? Because I have that ego inside me. I cannot do this, I can only do this. Why these differences? All this is because of that. I have that firm belief that I am a body, mind, individual. I will only start to take things when somebody gives me good or gives me bad. I always differentiate. I always judge. I always compare. I always look at things material. This knowledge is only gonna go so far. That's why every individual is blessed with spirituality, if they can just see it that way. Every one of us have the authority, have the internal system that is ready to take the spiritual journey. It is the conscious decision of the individual to make that happen. Some do it, some don't do it. That doesn't mean that they are wrong. Their time has not come yet. So the more and more you start to understand the deeper state of what is happening to you, the higher you will be able to relieve yourself, whether it is pain or whatever that's going on within you, right? You will relax yourself, you will be balanced. Nothing should bother you inside. That is peace. No matter, even if there is a war going on outside, at that point, even if you are like at peace, then you're there. Right? Look at Sri Krishna, right? That entire war happened for 18 days. Yet he's the only one who has witnessed the entire 18 days of war, but yet absolutely no emotional reaction whatsoever. That is Yogeshwara. That is enlightened. And Patriji also talks about this one beautiful concept where he says that if for any reason you are suffering, if for any reason, whether it is because of your senses, your body, your inner mind, antakarnas, any of that, or your intelligence, or any of such things that are surrounding you in your entire system, if for any reason you are suffering, he says you are not enlightened, period. That means this life is not the last life. You have to come again. That is truth. The shift only comes to you when you firmly believe and stand on it and try to stand on it. Initially, you'll have to try to stand on it. You'll have to remind yourself to be in that. But slowly, what happens as you keep practicing it, you will start to see that energy is coming your way. And then a shift will happen eventually. So if we are able to understand this subject of what we are talking today, then in everyone's life, there is only learning. I cannot see anywhere any misery. I cannot see any suffering at all in this world. The world is perfect in its own way. The universe is perfect in its own way. You are able to make the statements like that because everyone needs those lessons for their own soul growth. Immediately you stop intervening in others' karmas. You stop judging people. You stop complaints. And the most important, you will stop interfering in others' lives. Very important. You let them live the life they want to live. When you have this understanding at a spirit level that we are all spirits, we are all here to learn our own lessons, There is only one thing, that is friendship, companionship. That's it. There is no mother, there is no father, there is no brother, there is no sister, right? There is no son, there is no daughter, there is nothing. The only thing that we have as a bondage between us is friendship. We are the same souls traveling on the earth at the same time. That's it. So the reason why this knowledge is important, again, right, coming back to the basic of it, right? Why am I losing this every time? Because when I start to come out of this discussion, right after this session, you go back into your regular lives, you start to lose it. Why am I losing it? Because I'm not holding on to it. So we got to start to hold on to this. Hold on to this knowledge and try to, at some point, right, in your daily lives, try to bring this as a practice that I am a spiritual being. Why is this even bothering me? Just have that feeling, and then see what happens. You'll be able to cross the bridges like this. Any problem is no longer a problem. You won't see anything in your life as a problem at all. The definition of problem is gone from your dictionary. So let us start to embrace this standard of living. Let us start to live what scriptures, what masters, what we have read in our own understanding, right? Live life king size. Live life spiritually. So as we start to bring some of these things together, always remember the intelligence is important. The pleasures, getting away from pleasures. You will be pulled into a lot of worldly affairs. You have to find a way to get out of them. You have to mature yourself to come out of it. And that intelligence will help you to get out of that. The more spiritual knowledge you gain, the faster your affairs of the worldly things will get down. I'm not saying that they won't come to you. You might still have to go. You might still have obligations, whatever in the society when you're living, right? There are things that you may have to do it, but then you are outgrown of it. None of those things give you that happiness, that peace, that whatever you're looking for, right? You're outgrown. Like as a baby, when you look for ice cream, you're so, running to get more ice cream, right? Now, if you say ice cream, it's okay. You have it, you have it. You don't have it, you matured. Same thing will happen. Second thing, which is more important, is the belief that you are the spiritual being out to have human experience. I am spirit. I am not human. And then trying to bring these two together, the spiritual life and the material life. They are one, my life. My life is both spiritual and material. Whatever is coming my way seems like it is material, but the way I stand through that is spiritual. If I am spirit being, I'm able to withstand whatever is coming my way. If I am a material person, if I'm not spiritual, that incident, that event, that triggering, whatever is triggering that, it is going to carry you away. It is so funny that people are struck. Somebody did something to me 45 years back. I'm not able to let go of it. 45 years you have hold that burden in your mind, in your body. 45 years. Such a pity. Where is the spirituality there, right? Something that happened in the previous moment, you got to let go. That is spirituality. Forget, forgive is spirituality. You're holding grudge, you're holding things, you're holding memories, you're holding stuff that happened in your childhood that you want to live through those memories again and again, again and again, again. And one suffering made your life miserable. One incident that happened in your past has taken away your entire present. So the question, am I spiritual? If I am spiritual, then why is this bothering me? Right? So those things need to come to each of us. When you go inner journey, why I need to do meditation is, if I do meditation, these things are going to come my way. These inner questions, whatever I'm looking for, right? We will start to find answers to it intuitionally through my fourth body, not first body, intuitionally. I no longer, so in the earlier example, we talked about material life and spiritual life. Material life means living outside, looking for answers outside. Spiritual life means knowing that I am the answer for everything. When I am the answer for everything, where do I look? I look within. So everything that is happening in this entire world through me, as me, the answer is within me. So simple. And yet, profound on the impact of knowledge, right? This is the ultimate knowledge. If I am able to stand to that, nothing can come and push me anywhere. Everything is done. You will look at this world as a stage, as a merry movie. You watch, you will have fun. Absolutely no reaction whatsoever. The companionship will continue forever and ever and ever. Even you are here or you live above, you go above, you will still continue to have that companionship. That friendship will never go away. That will there forever. So start to accept everything coming. Start to live in that reality that you are the spirit. Bring that intelligence and the you know and a profound understanding on the worldly affairs, where you are struck, what you need to do, what you are doing, what is truth, right? Have that very good knowledge, very good understanding of that. And then bring the spirituality and material life together. I'll stop here. If you have any questions, we'll take for next few minutes and then get into meditation. Any questions? The subject is very deep. As you go into examples and all, it becomes very, very, deeper. But anything that you are looking, or anything that you are understanding, or anything you want to say, please go ahead. Okay. So one thing I'll say and then let go for the session is that living in this truth is the way of living. Knowing this truth is nothing. Remember this. Write it down very clearly. Living this truth is the only way you will be realized, enlightened, liberated. Knowing this, you're not going to get anything. Knowing this is important for you to live. But if you are only knowing about it, if somebody tells you the truth, you say, I know it. It has no value. You got to live by it. When you say that, yes, I know the truth and I'm living the truth, then you are enlightened. All right. So if no further questions, then let's, it's about 10 or 2. Yeah. Let's start meditation. Sit very comfortably, masters. Let's do for 45 minutes or so. Sit very comfortably in your best postures. Close your eyes. Have that belief, have that firm understanding, or that feel, bring that feel that I am a spiritual being out to have human experience. Meditation, going deeper, samadhi, all these are like, I have done this thousands of times. My soul can do anything and everything. What are these? These are nothing. I will get it just like that. Everything is possible. Be with your breath, my dear masters. Be with your breath. Such a beauty, breath. Slowly and steadily bring your attention to your breath and try to be with the breath. Be with your breath. Be with your breath. Be with your breath. Last 1 minute. Last 1 minute. Last 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Please slowly take your hands. Put it on your eyes, masters. Whenever you're ready, open your eyes and equity palms. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, masters. Anyone would like to share experience or any questions on the topic that we had today? Any questions? No questions? Then let us call it a night. We'll see you all tomorrow for the regular session and next week for the topic session. All right? Have a wonderful evening. Take care. Bye-bye.